Hello everyone, today we're diving into the world of planning permission and the changes you can and can't and most definitely shouldn't make after your project has been approved. It's a common question that pops up once you've secured the green light for your home improvement dreams, but you haven't started construction yet, like, maybe I could change something? Maybe you're wondering if that window would look better in a different spot, or that sliding door might work better as a bifold. Perhaps you're considering shifting your kitchen layout. We'll break down all of this, what is and isn't possible. So let's get to it. First off, it's important to know that councils generally do not allow major design changes post-approval. However, they do allow a tiny bit of wiggle room for alterations that fall under the category of non-material amendments. And these are usually small changes that might include things like adjusting windows or doors that aren't overlooking neighboring properties. You could potentially reduce the size of your extension, changing the interior layout, or adding a patio no higher than 30 centimeters. Keep in mind though that there are no hard and fast rules for what constitutes a non-material amendment. It's often up to your local authority to make that call, but to get some clarity, we recommend chatting with your case officer or having your friendly neighborhood architect do so on your behalf. Before going through official channels, it's a good idea to ask your officer for some informal advice on the likelihood of your proposed changes being approved. If you do decide to move forward with alterations, you'll need to submit a formal non-material amendment application, which comes with a small fee. Surprise, surprise. These non-material amendments are essentially minor changes that don't significantly alter your original planning permission granted. If your revisions are considered material though, they won't be accepted. Now let's talk about what you can't change after planning permission has been granted. Increasing the size of your extension or building, increasing the height or eaves of the roof, moving a building or extension even within the same site area, changing the site area itself, or making changes that conflict with a specific condition, significantly altering the elevation, inserting new features like dormer windows that could create an overlooking problem, changes that alter the nature or description of the development, making multiple minor changes, adding new works or elements that weren't part of the original application, or building astride the neighboring boundary where it wasn't previously proposed. Those are all nope, off limits. If the changes you want to make aren't possible under your current application, you'll need to reapply for permission. And yeah, that might seem daunting, but with a skilled architect by your side, sword in hand, or at least pen, it's a fairly smooth process. Even if you didn't use the same architect for your original designs, you bin them off or something, a team like Resi can map out your new ideas and package them up for reapplication. Our lovely team of in-house planning agents will manage the submission on your behalf and work to ensure that your new designs have the best chance possible of approval. Now, usually at this point, there are a few topics on people's minds, starting with internal walls. Changing about internal walls do not require planning permission. Listed buildings, however, do need approval from your local authority if you're changing stuff inside. If you're unsatisfied with your architect at any point in your project, you can typically de-instruct them, bin them off, tell them to get lost, as long as you check your contract for any break clauses and pay any outstanding fees. Don't do a runner without paying. Building bigger than the approved planning permission is almost always a no-go. Don't do it. And while you might be able to build smaller, it's generally best just to stick to your original plans as closely as possible to avoid any potential issues down the line. Applying for retrospective planning permission after your project is built is a risky move to say the least, and one that we highly advise against. If your application is declined, you'll have to undo all of that work, all the stuff you built, and return your property to its original state. No, thank you. So there you have it, a comprehensive look at the ins and outs of making changes to your planning permission after it's been granted. Remember, when in doubt, always consult your local authority or your architect to ensure a smooth and successful home improvement journey.